back this $40,000 I've lost over this period of time, or finally after X amount of time I'm gonna make it. Did you ever have those struggles? And if so, like, what allowed you to break out of that 10-year cycle?
Staring at charts all day, every day. All day, every day. Everyone always says, like, how do you trade? Stare at charts all day, every single day. Stare at the charts. They will eventually start speaking to you. You will eventually know, oh, this is the low or it's near. This is the top, we're about to drop, and you'll start to see them.
January 15th, 2026. Let's go over the trades we took today, and let's talk about this obvious setup that we have forming here. In the NASDAQ, we clearly have a wedge forming. You can see it without needing to draw because of your own conscious imagination. Some things are very obvious, and what this means is that we're building up pressure and something has got to give. We are consolidating into this wedge right here, and this is exciting because tomorrow's Friday, which is normally an exciting day of the week with regards to trading activity. So this might break tomorrow, but the wedge also might not break until next week. But just to keep that in mind, I mean, look at this wedge. I mean, this wedge is obvious, and this is an event that we need to be aware of. With regards to the daily momentum, however, we've got the momentum before the market opened today. The only information we had was that the momentum is dying, and the momentum is now reversing to the downside. Selling pressure is building. And this is even further backed up by the growing volume data, which is extremely important. So we've got momentum reversing to the downside with growing volume. That's what we knew before the day even started, okay? So going into today, look what we had, a massive sell-off. We're going to go over the two trades I took in NQ. I missed the sell-off trade, but the strategy did come into effect right here. So my strategy technically would have taken this trade and would have profited from it big time. But I missed it, and that's all right. I'm still missing trades because of fear and hesitation. And man, it's hard sometimes because you see the signals setting up and you see everything telling you, hey, it's time to take the trade. And when you don't act, when you don't take the trade, man, it hurts. It really hurts. And it comes from fear and hesitation, which is a lack of present moment awareness. Right here on this particular bar, I took my first long trade of the day. Why? Why did I take a trade here to the long side? We had permission to take long trades from our 5-minute data. The other 5-minute was building momentum to the upside at this very current, like right here, right before this candle and this next move played out. The reason I took this trade in general was because, one, we had a really big bar. We had a volume confluence right here. This next line right here, this yellow line signified the actual candle that I entered the trade on. We had a large volume bar. We're on the right side of the momentum going upward. And at this time, the 5-minute extended MACD was actually to the upside, but it wasn't confirmed. It didn't finish. It didn't conclude to the upside yet. And then the 5-minute regular hours was strong to the upside. And then our higher time frames were also supporting an upward move. They were given permission to take long trades. So we entered right here, and I actually ended up getting the profit right here at these next two candles. They did reach that profit region, because remember, we entered, we go for a 2-to-1. This is a tiny candle. We set our stop loss at this last candle, the previous candle. So the entry was right here, stop loss right here below this previous candle, and then the price action hit this first profit target, which is essentially a 2-to-1. So that was a win right there. And then the same thing happens here. I was even preparing for this mentally. Before this setup even happened, I told myself, get ready for shorts, because the MACD histogram on the 30-minute has been tapering off for a long time. We are watching the 5-minute MACD histogram taper and start to flip over. At this point where I started to think that, I was like, wow, we need to get ready for shorts. So what happens? right here on this entry candle, what do we see? We're on the right side of the minute, or the right side of the 2-minute MACD momentum. We've got a volume bar greater than the previous 3. Our 5-minute is now giving us permission to take trades to the downside. So we enter right here. At the close of the candle, that's where we enter, right when the candle finishes. We put our stop loss slightly above this candle, and we target a 2-to-1 for the first profit target. And then we allow the runners to continue running to catch additional profits. Always the same thing. So that was 2 trades today in NQ with 2 wins. I also took 2 other trades in Taiwan Semiconductor, and I'm going to show you those right now. Before we do, all of these purple lines are situations where I wanted to take the trade, but I did not for some reason. This particular one right here, which really hurts, happened 2 hours before the market close, and I normally like to trade only an hour before the market close. But I'm starting to think that actually I should move it to the 2 hours before market close because of the data. I'm seeing a lot of opportunities that I'm missing. Look at this opportunity right here. Our 5-minute MACD at this point in time right here, this trade I wanted to take that would have resulted in a huge win. I wanted to take this trade because look at the 5-minute MACD histogram. It has now started reversing direction to the downside, which is what we need. That's called permission to take trades to the downside. And then right here on this bar, we get a volume confluence, which is a volume bar greater than the previous 3. And we're on the right side of the 2-minute momentum on the histogram at this current time. So we enter right here at the close of the candle. Right when the candle finishes, we enter. We put our stop loss slightly above that candle, target a 2-to-1, and allow the runners to keep on going to get lots and lots of profit. These were other situations which would have been wins that I also did not act on, and that's all right. I'm still improving. I'm not as good as I'm going to be in the future. It's just fear and hesitation I'm still dealing with, and it's whatever. You know what? I can't be upset at it. I just got to focus and try to improve a little bit every day. Taiwan Semiconductor. Why am I trading this? You'll notice on the daily chart, we've been ripping up for over a year. This is a ticker that's got a lot of upward momentum with regards to its intrinsic momentum. Anytime you get a stock that's just been going up for years, you can say that it has a lot of intrinsic momentum. So there's been news with Taiwan Semiconductor recently, breaking news, and that's self-evident with the volume increasing over the past 4 weeks. So that's why it's in my playlist, and these are critical levels of the previous week, the low and the highs of the previous week. So today, what do we see here? What do we see? What do you see? What do you see right here? Our 5-minute data is strong to the upside at this current point, at my entry. The 5-minute extended hours is strong to the upside. So the 5-minute twins are in harmony. This is crucial for the first 30 minutes to an hour of the market. The first 30 minutes, first hour of the market, you want the 5-minute extended hours and the 5-minute regular hours. You want these MACD data sets to be representing the same signal. You want them to be in harmony. So the entry was right here at the top of the candle, right where it closed. Put the stop loss slightly below that candle, targeted 2-to-1, got the win. And we even got more than that. The runners would have been able to capture a little bit more profit. And then later on in the day, we had an interesting reversal. Look at this top that it hit right here. It definitely hit a top. This is some sort of critical level right here that will likely come into effect tomorrow. This is a critical level. I'm actually going to put a horizontal line right here, and I'm going to make it very obvious so that we don't lose that understanding. So we hit this double top here. Rejection, rejection, triple top, essentially. Rejection, and then we have a huge sell-off, right? And after that sell-off occurred, right here, what do you see? What do you see? The 5-minute has now recovered and is now giving us permission to take long trades. On the volume, we have a volume confluence, volume bar greater than the previous 3. And then we're on the right side of the 2-minute momentum. That's the signal to enter the trade. So I messed up here. I made a big mistake. The entry is at the close of this candle, right here, where the volume confluence is occurring. Entry is right there. Stop loss slightly below that candle. Target at 2 to 1. Okay? So my profit was supposed to be at this level here. I took profit at this lower level right here because I was impatient and fearful that it would go against me and fearful. So instead of letting the strategy bring me the right amount of profit, I took micro profits. And then, of course, yeah, I sold one, a little bit up here for the regular profit target, but that's not the strategy. The strategy says sell 80% of the position at that 2 to 1 profit target. And I didn't do that. I sold like 90% of the position at like a 6 to 1, like right here. Micro profits. So all in all, we had 4 trades today. All 4 were wins. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one.